just wanna be happy tonight.
Hey everyone, welcome back. So I figured today I will share with you kind of my experience, well, Ari and I's experience in Paxton with Yumi. So if you haven't heard of Yumi, it's all over Facebook and Instagram. That's kind of how I heard about it through their ads. It is a baby food subscription program. So basically it's organic baby food without any preservatives. They freshly make it and then they send it to you, and then you have to use it within 24 or 48 hours, I believe, or freeze it because like I said, there's no preservatives. Whenever Paxton started his food journey, I wanted to make the majority of the food, which I did. And I used, if you watch the Feeding Essentials video, I would, cook and steam all his vegetables, and then I would, puree it. But obviously it's a lot more convenient, to go buy in food and to just have some things on hand. And then also, as I was making the foods, whenever you try to make all organic, you'll run into, foods that you're trying to make, but you can't because you can't find, that ingredient in organic. And then, that's when I would kind of look at the store-bought options, for example, like passion fruit or dragon fruit, fruits like that, or, pineapple. I couldn't find an organic pineapple, and I wanted to still expose Paxton to those things early on. So that's when I looked at, pouches and jars and things like that. And what I came across is whenever you are looking at the different options in the store, the majority of them are all fruit centered. And that's personally, I didn't really like that because my husband's a very picky eater when it comes to vegetables, and I didn't want Paxton to be that way too. So I figured I want to introduce him to as many vegetables as I can and kind of get him to start liking them. And a lot of the store-bought baby food has mixed in any type of vegetable. It's always mixed with a fruit the majority of the time. And then if you taste it, it just tastes sweet and like the fruit. And even if you read the ingredients on some of them, the vegetables are like last on the list, so there's like barely any in there. And I didn't like that because that's not reality. If Paxton eats broccoli in real life, it's not going to be mixed in with applesauce. At least I hope not. And so that's when I was just seeing what else was out there, and Yumi always kind of popped up, and I liked it because one, it was organic, which we're big on buying him organic food, and then two, there weren't any preservatives, which also is very nice. And I looked at all the different food options they had, and there were interesting combinations, and I thought, hey, this would be a nice thing to kind of try out, and then even kind of get ideas while I'm making his purees and such. So when we first ordered it, they have a nice thing, or at least they did at the time, where introductory, you can get 8 jars, and all you had to do is pay for shipping, which was nice. So that's kind of how I got into trying it, because they are kind of pricey. And you can choose your flavors, and so I chose a bunch of different ones, and then like I said, they'll send it to you. And then Paxton was a fan. I was a fan. I always like to try all the baby food because I always figure might as well know what it tastes like. And they tasted really well, really good. And so we ordered another batch. And then, like I said, they're kind of expensive, so then we kind of stopped, and I was just making, the food on my own. And then, Paxton's now eating finger food, so we kind of just transitioned to that, and we just kind of put a hold on this prescription. They have a nice program where you get, so many points, each monthly birthday of your baby. And if you like them on Facebook and Instagram, and I think if you, write a review or what have you, you get points. And so from those points, you can use them towards another purchase, and then that will, lessen the cost of your next subscription. So we used those points, and we figured we would give the finger foods a shot, because at that point, he was eating finger foods, table foods, and so we gave the finger foods a try. And it's nice because I guess I haven't mentioned that. So they have single fruit or veggie purees, and then they have combinations, and then they have the finger foods. So depending on where your child is or how you decide you know, if you're doing baby-led weaning, you know, you can just start with the finger foods. And if you're, you know, kind of doing the traditional way where you do the purees, combinations, and then the finger foods, you know, you can obviously do that as well with them. So that's kind of in general about the Yumi. So the things that we like about the Yumi is obviously the big one. It's organic, no preservatives, it's fresh made. You know, I like the unique combination of foods. It kind of gets Paxton or your baby ready for different flavors, textures, and things of that nature. And then it helped me because, like I said, I was making the majority of the baby food, and it kind of gave me ideas for certain combinations and things to mix and what have you. And then, so that's obviously a big pro. And then a lot of the flavors were really delicious. And then, oh, I guess I'll add, so last order, I don't know if it was because we had ordered a certain amount or if this is just new, but they included this little bib smock, which was nice. And then I guess now I'll move on to the cons. So the cons with the Yumi are obviously the cost. So it is expensive. So that's a big one. Another con is for Ari and I, we felt, you know, we've used lots of different subscriptions. We feel like the Yumi was a little bit not easy to use. It's not very transparent, you know. Once you sign up for the subscription, you know, it's kind of hard to see, you know, what you're going to be paying until, you know, your credit card gets charged, and that's a little frustrating. Like, I wish each month I would see, okay, this is going to be the cost, even if it doesn't change. But I mean, if you change, you know, from the purees to the combination to the finger foods, or change the quantity, it doesn't really give you the price. And then also, I mentioned, you know, kind of the little the bonus points. Whenever you use those, it doesn't really tell you, oh, you know, original price was this, you use this code this month or this week, your cost is X, which is a little frustrating because you don't really know. You use it, you don't really know, you know, what the cost is going to be. And then also, it was really confusing on how to use. It wasn't just an easy thing that you check at checkout. You had to like select it first, and then you waited for an email. I don't know. It was just a little confusing. And then the other thing is, with other subscriptions, a downside from the Yumi company is, with other subscriptions, they'll give you kind of a heads up and be like, hey, you know, your orders, you know, last minute to make, you know, selection choices or what have you. They kind of give you that heads up, like, hey, if you need to make a change, do it now. And they don't do that, which is a little frustrating because there are different flavors, and whether you want to, you know, do the single purees, the combination, or the finger foods, you know, that will change as your baby, you know, gets older. So it would be nice if they kind of gave you a heads up, because that way, you know, you can switch it up. And like I said, they have different flavors in all the different categories, and if you don't choose, then you get something random. So that's what happened to us most recently. We didn't get the heads up, and we didn't realize we were due for a shipment, and so we just got random ones. And you know, it would have been nice if I could have gone on there and selected ones that we felt Paxton may like or enjoy. And then another con is, so I think this was just, you know, we were just unlucky, I guess. So whenever we tried out the finger foods, we always, when we order something from Yumi, we like to go in, we like to order just a different combination. We don't like to order multiples of one, just because you don't know if you're going to like it. I don't know if Paxton's going to eat it, and you know, it's always different. Even if it sounds good, it may not taste good. So I always just like to try, you know, variety, and that way we can kind of taste our way through and see what we like and what we don't like. And so we did that with the finger foods, but I guess there was I guess, like I said, we were unlucky, and there was, you know, an error, and they ended up sending us the same one over and over. So unfortunately, those two flavors we didn't really like. Paxton wasn't a fan, and I personally wasn't a fan either. And so it's just all eight of those, unfortunately, you know, kind of went to waste. But like I said, I mean, I don't think this happens often. It was just, we were kind of unlucky. And then, you know, unfortunately, you know, we did reach out to them, and because, you know, they make their food fresh, you know, they don't have like, you know, a refrigerator full where they can just send out, you know, the correct one. So we kind of just didn't get ones that week. So, you know, that would have been our only, you know, source. obviously we would have been kind of scrambling. So that was a little bit of a bummer, but like I said, I don't think that's something that happens frequently. We just happen to be unlucky, I guess. So yeah, so overall, like I said, the pros of the Yumi are, you know, organic, no preservatives, and just neat combinations and different flavors for your child to try. And then it's convenient because they have, like I said, the single ingredient, the combination, and then the finger foods. And then the cons is just, again, we wish they were a little bit more transparent. You know, we wish their site was a little bit more friendly, so you can really see, you know, this is the price. And with the points, you know, it would be nice if it was a little bit easier to use, that it was just, you know, click of a button at the checkout, and that it was just, again, that you could see, you know, hey, I used this amount of points, now, you know, this week or whatever, the price is going to be X. That's basically my only complaint with the company. And then my only tip or advice if you try Yumi out is, you know, like I said, I mean, this is with anything. You probably wouldn't go to the grocery store and say, oh, you know, my kid likes apples, I'm going to buy everything in this one flavor, because what if your baby doesn't like, you know, that combination? So same with, you know, the Yumi, you know, even if something sounds good, so like we tried the strawberry basil pie, sounds delicious to me, but you never know. So I wouldn't go and buy 8 of these. You know, just buy one, you know, let your child kind of try it out, and then if they like it, you know, you can order it again. So just kind of buy a variety. That's kind of my tip with that. But anyways, I hope this was helpful, and, you know, I would recommend giving Yumi a try. And see you guys next time.